My name is Jhody Polk, and I am the founder director of the Legal Empowerment and Advocacy Hub, which is the home of the National Jailhouse Lawyers Initiative. I am a very proud formerly incarcerated jailhouse lawyer. I wear that title with an honor because it is where I learned about the law and also where I learned the skills to be able to help support other individuals with their own legal learning and ways to be able to either use the law for their benefit or, try to transform the law for their benefits. When I first, started as a law clerk inside of the Florida Department of Corrections, I was really, also researching my own case. And I'll never forget the moment when, through all my research, I realized that the sentence that I had received was a just sentence. And then that really freed me mentally to just do my time. And so once I stopped focusing on myself, it really became an amazing opportunity for me to be able to help the women that I was incarcerated with. A lot of times people were getting moved around from prison to prison. Even one morning I woke up and, was shipped to Gaston, and to just see how vulnerable we were, and became really important to me to educate them about the law in a way that they could be able to seek relief in their case, even if a law clerk was there or not. It was amazing helping women, first of all, understand what that law was saying, but also working with them, to also translate their language back into legal language. And so helping people to tell not just the story, but to really argue and lift up their claims in a way that was complementary to the law. Recognizing like all of the other issues that came into it. We wasn't just fighting our cases, but dealing with our families, also dealing with being incarcerated. And so the law for me, it became like a pathway for personal freedom. It wasn't always good as a law clerk. I used to really get discouraged. There was so many people in need, and I always wish that I could have helped more people just get an outcome of lesser time or getting out of prison altogether. But I can say that I built some amazing relationships that I watch women just heal, even after doing or being accused of doing some of the things that they do. It was amazing to also see how just through the law library, we could really create this space where we could be vulnerable. I know that's not like all the time everywhere, but for me as a law clerk, it was just phenomenal to be able to hear the different stories of women that gave me my own sense of identity and purpose. I knew when I came out of that prison that I was a lawyer. I knew that I had a gift to be able to connect people to the law, as well as the gift to see hope and opportunity, in the law, and not just see the horrible injustice, part of it. And so because of that sense of identity and purpose, it has kept me strong. It has reminded me who I am, and it has just allowed me to continue to push through all of, the consequences of being a convicted felon. But that identity and purpose that I gained in the law library will forever shape my life. The greatest achievement, in addition to being a mom, was the opportunity to launch the Jailhouse Lawyers Initiative. When I received the 2018 Soros Justice Fellowship to design the project and move it forward, I knew that it wasn't just about me. I was going to have the ability to really build out a platform for all jailhouse lawyers across the country. I received the opportunity to travel to Budapest and attend a legal empowerment training. And it changed my life. Us as jailhouse lawyers to be judges lawyers and to really occupy the justice space as agents and actors wasn't this faraway dream. Going to that training, I was the only formerly incarcerated person there, but everyone there were lawyers or a paralegal or a legal worker in a higher, sense. And they were all talking about how to move the law and the power of the law from being held by lawyers and people in top institutions back into the actual hands of the people, recognizing that lawyers were more than just around to provide services for individuals who needed legal help, but that they were also responsible for educating and advocating for and working alongside these community members in a way that allowed them to take ownership of themselves and their justice and their community. I appreciated that legal empowerment also had a framework. It wasn't just a theory of shared power, shared experience coming together in community organizing, but it recognized that people have to know the law, understand the law in order to practice the law, and to become shapers of the law, which is transformational. And so when I heard that framework and also saw the various practices that were being used internationally to grow legal empowerment, it reminded me so much of the power that I had seen, over and over again inside of the law library. Legal empowerment to me is an amazing opportunity for us as community members to start being able to get to be educated, and not just on what the law is, but even just the history, of the law. When I worked on the campaign to restore voting rights for Amendment 4, I was immediately pushed into this shaping position. Even just coming out of prison, there's this big movement around, telling our stories and sharing our narratives. And because I am a woman of color and because I am a formerly incarcerated woman of color, it seemed to be this obligation for me to join movements and organizations to fight against ending mass incarceration. And although I wanted to do those things and did those things, there was just so much that I didn't know. There was just so many pieces that I wasn't able to put together. So that always made me at the wheel of what other people were doing. And it was okay to support other folks, and to be a part of these movements. But more importantly, I needed to have my own, reason for being there. I needed to have my own identity within the movement. So I've really seen how harmful it can be when we just put people into this space of shaping without those first, opportunities to learn and to practice. And so that is why legal empowerment is extremely important to me.